Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of... You right there?
I was just moving in my chair.
Oh good. This week's episode of the Bourne Property Show. I thought you were going to fall off your chair. I thought you were going to collapse with boredom.
Not yet.
No. With my colleague Paul and myself, Lewis, we're back again.
We are.
Yeah.
It's a regular thing, isn't it?
With them, yeah. Can't keep away really, can
We're a bit like Good Morning Britain.
Yes, we are. What?
Every day.
Yes, yes. What are we going to talk about today? Well, I've got 2 or 3 bits to talk about. Nothing too heavy today.
Oh, okay.
Nothing too heavy. We're going to go...
Are we going to do the introduction?
Oh yeah, good point. Roll VT. Arguably the worst start to the show ever.
Yes, well, there you go.
I thought we were actually just talking, it wasn't even recorded.
Probably.
Oh well. We've got a couple of little bits and pieces to talk about, a couple of news articles.
Okay.
I've totally forgotten what we even spoke about last week, to be truthful with you. So we're going to talk a little bit about these news articles. We're going to go through the community diary. We've got a property of the week. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
I know what you're laughing at. I do know what you're laughing at. So we're going to go through the community diary. We're going to talk about the property of the week. And we'll see where it takes us and we'll go with the flow. Maybe we'll just talk about, what was just a general chit chat?
Just chat.
Yes.
What about nothing particular?
Yeah.
Football last night.
No.
So it wasn't last night, was it? It was
a week ago.
A week ago.
5 days ago. We can't talk about football. I think that's a very
We're part of that.
yeah. I think it's quite a sensitive matter that needs dealing with, unfortunately. Yes. So
yes.
We don't know the facts. If you don't know the facts, you can't say it.
The only
property description.
Tyrone Mings was awesome.
Yes, very good. We didn't have to do anything for 90 minutes. So, shall we talk about? Here's an interesting fact, and I didn't realise this. And genuinely, I didn't know this. Did you know the majority of the homes in Great Britain are stamp duty exempt for first-time buyers? The majority of homes in Britain.
No.
I know, it's confusing, isn't it? A survey's just come out saying that 6 in 10 homes in Britain are exempt from stamp duty if they are bought by first-time buyers.
They're saying that there are that many properties under the...
Now,
threshold.
what are you going to say? Yes, so what's the threshold? Because what you think is the original threshold, don't you?
No, it's
you
not.
think 125,000.
First time
which
buyers
is
are exempt.
Exactly. So I thought to myself,
Yeah.
oh well, there can't be that many houses. So for example, what does 125 grand get you in Bourne? Little or nothing. It'll get you a 1 or 2 bed flat or apartment. It might get you a little 2-bedroom terrace with no parking.
Or something shared ownership. That's about it.
That's your
really.
lot. That's all you'd get.
Yeah.
But it isn't that, is it?
No, it's not. First time
And
buyers
you
are
can't
exempt.
think what it is, can you? That's
No.
why you're trying to pad this out.
Yeah, no idea. No, go for it. I have
Do you,
no idea.
Oh, I don't know if I necessarily want to tell you as yet.
Well, I think I should know, being on what I do for a living.
So excellent. So there we are. You're a property professional then. Not your big stamp duty exemption for first-time buyers is. If anyone does know and they want to comment below, you'll get a job. So yeah, 6 in 10 homes in Great Britain are exempt from stamp duty bought by first-time buyers. 59% of properties listed for sale during the past year came with asking prices that are below the threshold, which I thought was amazing. So the answer to the question is 300,000.
Really?
Now, say 300,000 in Bourne, what do you get?
Oh, lots.
Up to comfortably a 5-bed detached house.
Yes.
And all of a sudden it changes the parameters a bit.
It does, yeah.
I just saw that as a really interesting throwaway little thing. And just to remind the people out there that are first time buyers, that actually the threshold isn't 125 like it was originally set.
Yeah.
Then it was moved to 175, if you remember.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, wonderful, first time buyers can get a 3-bed semi. And now it's 300,000.
Which is the majority of the properties we probably have on the market, really.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Looking at the board, yeah.
As we're looking at, well, people are wondering why we're looking over there and not the camera, we are looking at our details board.
Yeah, we
yes.
are. Yeah.
So yeah, it would be about right, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So there we are. Interesting
Excellent.
fact to start the
It's
show.
like a training course.
And you've learned something.
Every day I learn something.
We'll talk about objection handling next.
Great.
Good. Did you realise that on average, and I didn't know this, and I've thought about this and I've done a little bit of research, did you know that on average there is a 10% premium attached to homes which are under the Help to Buy scheme?
Oh, would have guessed there was some premium. I wouldn't have known it was quite that much.
Are you presuming it's a premium because it's potentially a new build?
Yes.
So, most people obviously that are first time buyers, and it's a theme, first time buyer theme, of which at this point it's important to remind everybody, I'm looking at Kelsey here behind the camera to remember, which is going to tell me exactly when the Help to Buy ISA closes. And we're all waiting with bated breath. So that voice in the background is that, are you sure it's 30th November? You sure?
You know that if you speak up, they still can't see you.
No, exactly. So, on that note, as the Help to Buy theme of the first time buyer theme continues, the Help to Buy ISA does shut on the 30th of November. So if you are thinking about having a Help to Buy scheme or an ISA to have it as a savings pot, isn't it? It's effectively the modern day savings account for a house. Yeah. It shuts on the 30th of November. So really advise that you come in and give us a call, drop a comment below, drop us an email, come in and see us. We'll get you in front of our colleague Kate from Home Mortgage Solutions. Will be able to advise you and tell you how the Help to Buy ISA works, what you need to do, how you need to apply for it, and you can open it with £1. Yeah. I think I was going to say I've got £1 in my pocket, but I genuinely haven't. So yes, the Help to Buy ISA is still there. But for those people that are thinking of using the Help to Buy scheme, which is obviously still in place, you need to make sure you weigh up your pros and cons, check you're not overpaying before taking the plunge. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So there is a potential that a study has found that first-time buyers could be paying a premium of up to 22% if they use the government Help to Buy scheme to purchase a home. Okay. It showed that the average person taking their first step on the property ladder, paid on using the Help to Buy equity loan initiative, paid 10.3% more than those who bought without using the scheme. Right. And in some areas of the country, this level was doubled. And where people are finding it difficult to obviously raise a deposit, as a consequence they turn to the Help to Buy scheme, which obviously operates only into the new build sector, of course, where homes command a higher price. And indeed, in addition to that, the premium applied for the Help to Buy scheme. So, in a weird sort of way, buying a second-hand home does offer better value. Yeah. But it's a catch-22, because if you want to get on the ladder, the Help to Buy scheme, where you can put a 5% deposit and the government will match up to that, and indeed into a 20% deposit, so you could end up with a 25% deposit, is there. But I just found it really interesting, because when you think about it, it's right, isn't it? They're encouraging you, they're encouraging you to save, to raise a deposit, which we've all said is the most difficult part of the housing market. Yeah. First time buyers, deposit, affordability, wages, income, expenditure, blah, blah, blah. So we're encouraging people to save. We're encouraging people to use the Help to Buy ISA. The Help to Buy ISA can only be used with new home property, and new home property commands a premium. Yes. Is there a contradiction there?
There is, to a certain extent, but you almost expect that, don't you? You don't get anything for nothing in this life.
I do note the fact you've got your glasses in your top pocket, which is very ever so educated and eloquent.
Do you think?
Yes.
Eloquent?
Is that the word I'm looking for?
No.
Oh. What word am I looking for?
I have no idea. But still, you expect to pay a little bit of a premium, because you don't get anything, you don't get something for nothing in this world, ever, do you?
No. Flu jab.
It's whether... Yeah.
If you qualify, of course.
It's whether or
check
not,
with your doctor before you do anything.
It's whether or not you expect that you can accept that 10% premium as being worthwhile to be able to use the Help to Buy scheme.
Because don't forget, the long-term impact is that you do have to pay the Help to Buy scheme back.
You do. Ultimately.
So if you're paying that premium and
paying it back.
And paying it back, and let's be honest, as much as house prices, as reported in last week's show, are up slightly.
Yes, they are.
So prices are up slightly. The market is still fairly confident, despite what's going on as we build up to the 31st of October. Yep. See what I did there? Didn't use the B word. But I think you've just got to be very, very careful. You've got to be very shrewd. So, I suppose to a first-time buyer, you need to first and foremost decipher how much you can afford to buy. Yeah. Now that can be found straight away because you can come in and have a chat with our advisor Kate and get some free advice initially, and she'll be able to have a look to see, based on your income and your earnings, or maybe joint earnings if it's two of you, or single own earnings, and your expenditure, how much you can pay per month. So that'll be able to work out how much you can borrow.
Yes.
How much you can borrow will then relate to what sort of deposit you can get.
Yes.
And obviously that will decipher how much you need to save, either through a Help to Buy ISA or indeed through normal means, putting the money into the bank and or you know, put it under your bed, whatever, to enable you to get onto the housing ladder. So I think you do have to do a little bit more research than you thought. Because Help to Buy scheme, I'm going to buy a brand new property, the government are going to give me this amount of deposit and everything's great. It's not quite that easy, is it?
It's not quite that simple, is it? No, because you will have to pay it back, as you say, and there is a bit of a premium to do so.
So the argument is, do you save for a bit longer and go down traditional methods and means?
Yeah.
What we also have to take into account, a lot of people don't realise this, is that there are many different types of mortgages about.
No, yes, true, absolutely.
You know, on average, you can get a mortgage with a minimum 10% deposit. There are mortgage lenders out there that could do a 5% deposit, especially if you buy a shared equity or shared ownership. There are some mortgage providers out there that will even do a 100% mortgage, and it's linked through to what's called a guarantor. So you might have your mum, your dad, or somebody that's actually acting as a guarantor for you to underpin your borrowing.
Yes.
So there are ways and means that you don't necessarily have to use Help to Buy ISA. If you do your right research though, and you weigh up, as it says in this article, all the pros and cons, then do you know what? It's a good thing to do.
Absolutely.
But what you've got to make sure is that you have progression. Progression that you're paying off your mortgage and making equity. Progression that the value of your home is purchased at the right price, so it's going to make value if house prices continue to rise and they continue to stay strong, and indeed supply and demand, etc. And that there's a progression in your own living, the fact that you maybe get pay rises or extra commissions or whatever, so actually you have more money to be able to pay it off quicker, or indeed make it sustainable.
Right.
I feel like I'm advertising with a tin of tuna there. Sustainable fishing. So there, I just thought it's been a first time buyer linked theme show.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much. Would you like to go, it's going to be a short and sharp show this week,
Yeah.
Would you like to go into this week's property of the week?
Yes, what is it?
Well, let's find out. So this week's property of the week is in Hackenby Lane in Morton.
Ah, right, yes.
Would you like to tell the viewers all about it? Because I've totally forgotten.
It's a 4-bedroom
Yes.
chalet bungalow.
Yes.
Although more of a
Chalet style house, isn't it?
Chalet
Yeah.
style
Yeah.
house. Backing onto open fields where there are sometimes sheep and cows. It's really, really
Oh,
nice.
you're painting a picture.
It's lovely. Quiet part of the village, but in a village where there's lots of amenities. There's 2 shops, in fact.
Yes.
Bus route, on a bus route as well. Have a look at the video.
Very nice. But how much is it on the market for, Paul?
Do you know what? Off the top of my head,
It's
at this moment,
230,000.
it's
I'll bail you out, don't you worry.
230,000.
We know our stock.
It's so cheap
You forgot all about
forgot it.
It's negligible.
Yeah.
First time buyers. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have to pay stamp duty on it.
No.
And they would only potentially need a deposit of around about £22,000.
Absolutely. Yes.
What a perfect idea.
Yes.
There we go. No, very nice property, joking aside.
It is.
And from someone who lived just off Hackenby Lane on Orchard Close for many, many years, it is a really nice location, I have to say. Very, very nice.
However, if you are thinking of moving to Bourne, be assured he's moved.
Yes, you can now go there in safety and in knowledge that I'm not about
Don't
anymore.
bump into him in the street.
Not at all. Shall we go into this week's community diary?
Yes, let's do
Let's
that.
do that. Right. Well, first and foremost, we've had something sent in from one of our viewers.
Have we?
Yeah, genuinely.
The viewer.
Well, probably not. There is a clothes sale taking place of new and good quality.
Right.
Used clothes for all of the family. And it's on the 2nd of November between 12 and 4. Okay. Designer wear high street brands. And it's at the Derby and Jones Centre in Bourne between 12 and 4 on the 2nd of November. And some of the proceeds will be going to the Royal British Legion for the Poppy Appeal.
Excellent. Good appeal.
As we draw closer to, of course, Remembrance Sunday.
Yep.
And in fact, do you know what? Have poppies gone on sale yet? I haven't
seen
seen any
any yet.
Can't be far away though, can it? Must
Can't
be any. It might even be this weekend. They launched.
Any time now, I would have thought.
They launched a market. He says, making it sound like I'm an estate agent. So that's the first thing that's been sent in there. So that's the 2nd of November. Clothes sale, high street brands. Some of the proceeds going to the British Legion, and it's at the Derby and Jones Centre in Bourne.
Excellent.
In other news. On the 27th of October, there is the Kirkby Underwood's 2nd annual Christmas fair.
Oh.
And that takes place at the Manor House, and that's between 2 and 5 p.m. The first Christmas market is going to pop up on the 24th of November between 10 and 4 at the Cento and Elsia Park. Free admission. There's a grotto.
I love a grotto.
Will you be there?
No.
Okay. Cakes and refreshments, chocolate tombola, entertainment, more wine pies and more. And that's in conjunction with the Rotary Club of Bourne.
Excellent.
Good organisation. There is a concert of English music on at Bourne Abbey Church on Saturday the 16th of November at 7:30. Admission for adults is £8, children are free. There'll be a lot of it's the Bourne Call concert of English music, which sounds quite interesting if you like that sort of thing. What?
Carry on.
You're supposed to say yes, Lewis.
Yes, Lewis.
Thank you. The Old Town Hall presents, I'm going to be able to pronounce this right, okay? Passepartout, okay? Music from the Balkans and beyond, Friday the 22nd of November. Licensed bar, doors open at 6:30, performance at 7:30. Do you want to give a different phrasing on that?
No, Passepartout.
I think that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, although I thought Passepartout was a guy who was with Phileas Fogg, but...
What, the crisps?
No.
Oh.
Around the world, and Philistine.
So, Nightmare on West Street. Yes, I've also sat in the traffic on West Street for quite a long time. No, joking aside, on Halloween, Thursday the 31st of October, it's Halloween late night shopping, which is at the West Street Centre, which is where Petorama Pet Shop is. It's got all those little boutique shops,
Yes.
Those pop-up shops, which I've got to be really, really honest and say, I didn't realise it was there until I went in when the Cycle Festival was on. And at the bottom of this, all these little pop-up shops. It's really very clever. A very, very
I
clever
haven't
idea
been in to
indeed.
see yet either.
It's between 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Halloween. The events keep coming. I'm going to swap over now what I'm talking about. I've got to remember which weekend we're in as well, which would be a good idea.
Well, at the moment, you were talking about the end of November. You're going to start telling us about things happening in January soon, because you're a bit ahead of yourself a little bit.
I'm only saying the events as they come up. What do you want me to do?
Oh, okay.
Magic them up?
Nothing's happening.
Well, it's half term next week, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I'm sure there'll be lots of things going on for the kids and
Because
stuff
they've
like
been
that.
back at school for months, haven't they?
That's it, yes. It's been there for ever such a long time. The Old Town Hall has got the pop-up cinema coming back, to be fair,
yeah.
for the half-term period. They're showing films, including Toy Story 4, and a few other films as well. So that's taking place. Go onto the Bourne Town Hall's website for further information on that. There's a few different bits and pieces. There is an art and chat at Thirlby Methodist Church on the 21st. There's all sorts of different things happening at the minute, to be fair, but it's that time of year, isn't it? We're in limbo.
Yes, it is a bit.
We're in limbo. It's one of those times where, you know, Christmas is nearly there. We've got Halloween around the corner. We've got fireworks displays around the corner. It's It's a messy time of year.
It is a messy time of year, yes.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
And we mustn't forget to promote Love Bourne.
Okay.
Another plug for Love Bourne there. If you go onto Facebook and go onto at We Love Bourne, it will bring up that logo, Love Bourne, where you're able to take advantage of numerous offers that a lot of the independent shops and businesses have applied for the month of October, and will continue to doing so in the run up to Christmas. More and more businesses are coming on board every day and every week, so there'll be more offers and incentives there. All you do need is one of the little We Love Bourne loyalty cards, which are available from Hill and Clark here. And they're also available from all of the other retail outlets that are part of the scheme. So if you go onto the Facebook page, have a look, pop into one of them, they'll give you the loyalty card. It's totally free. You don't have to pay for anything, you don't have to subscribe or anything like that. And then every time you see the Love Bourne logo in the window of a shop, you'll know there'll be a participating business, and you'll be able to take advantage of their latest offers, which are all put onto Facebook and all put into the Discovering Bourne magazine.
It's an inspired idea.
I know. And finally as well, and I am going to plug this because we are, if you talked about January, we'll talk January. We've launched the New Year's Eve party at the Bourne Corn Exchange.
Yes.
On New Year's Eve, £20 a ticket, £10 for children under 10 years old. Tickets are available here or at the Bourne Corn Exchange. Great way to see in 2020. Can you believe it? So if you want any more information on that, please usual routes, pop in and come and see us, or give us a bell and we'll be able to give you some more information on that.
Wonderful.
We're done.
We're done.
Another show in the bag. So thank you as always.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week for the half-term edition.
Yes.
Kids
running around.
Might dress us all up in Halloween outfits next week.
You won't be.
Okay. We have got to do our Halloween display though, so come past the office and see what our Halloween display is going to be. We've got no idea as yet. We're going to leave that to our creative team, aren't we?
Who, me?
Kelsey.
Right. Okay.
She can do the creative bits, we do the front of camera important bits.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us and watching as always. As always, if you have any comments, any questions, comment below, put them in the things below, and obviously we'll be happy to come back to you. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Take care, bye bye.